This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diving. Welcome to another Sports Catastrophe on this day, and on this day, June 19th, 1999. The two most famous words in Buffalo were first spouted. No goal. Now, the 1999 Stanley Cup Finals were a culmination of the playoffs that were decent, to say the least. In the 99 Stanley Cup Playoffs, the Eastern Conference champions were the Buffalo Sabres, even though they were the 7th seed heading into the playoffs. Buffalo at 7 shocked the number 2 Ottawa Senators in 4 straight. I mean, Leaf fans were happy that the Sens got what was coming to them. Besides, Toronto and Ottawa were rivals. What's even more shocking was that the number 8 seed Penguins took care of the number 1 seed Devils. So both top 2 seeds in the West and the East, dropped out. Boston would make another upset as they took out the number 3 Carolina Hurricanes in 6 games. Now you're thinking, Carolina at number 3? How is that possible in 99? Well, the NHL, when they moved to a 6 division format in 99, had the 3 division winners all be seeded from 1 to 3. Trust me, this would be a whole kettle of fish in 2002, especially with Carolina getting the 3 seed, even though Toronto should have been the 3 seed. But fortunately, the 4-5 matchup, Toronto versus Philly, the best seed actually didn't lose. So the East almost had all 4 lower seeds win, but Toronto prevented that from happening. So Toronto was kind of the favorite, if you will. Over in the West, despite the East losing their top 2 seeds, the top 2 seeds in the West were not lost. In fact, the 1 seed Dallas Stars took care of the number 2 seed Colorado Avalanche in the conference finals. Dallas swept Edmonton, took care of St. Louis in 6, and took care of Colorado in 7. There was only one upset, and that was number 5 seed St. Louis taking care of the number 4 seed Phoenix Coyotes. Now, of course, that was famous for a 3-1 comeback by the Blues, which shockingly, was shocking. But, however, if you were a Jets/Coyotes fan, it was, here we go again. Phoenix has a hard time keeping 3-1 leads, as it seems. So anyway, in the Eastern semis, the 4 seed Leafs took care of the number 8 seed Penguins in 6. A pair of overtime goals helped. And Buffalo took care of Boston in 6 games to go to the conference finals against the Leafs. The Leafs were pretty much favored to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Who could blame people for saying that? Especially with Dominik Hasek being hurt for the first 2 games of the 99 conference finals. Buffalo split those 2 games in Toronto, but Hasek decided enough was enough, I'm going to play no matter what, and he basically stonewalled the Leafs. Just that simple. Game 1 was a hard-hitting affair in the Stanley Cup Finals, but Buffalo scored the winning goal as Jason Woolley. Woolley scored to make it a 1-game lead for the Buffalo Sabres. Game 2 saw the Stars come back to win as Craig Ludwig scored his first goal ever in the playoffs. And he's a defenseman, and he's played 102 playoff games up to that point. Wow. Dallas would win nearly 2-1. Modano and Brett Hall were hampered by injuries. But Joe Nunez saved the day. However, Dixon Ward would be the hero in Game 4 as Buffalo split with Dallas, so it's 2-2. But Dallas did fantastic. Ed Belfour got a shutout, and then Game 6, the famous Game 6. In the first period, Yuri Lehtinen scored to make it 1-0, but the Sabres tied it on a Stu Barnes goal. It was hard-pressed. They went through not just 1 overtime, but 2 overtimes, but this was the 3rd overtime. And that's when Brett Hall did the famous skate in the crease goal and all that. There was no doubt his skate was in the crease when he scored, because that was illegal. But the NHL, halfway through the season, after realizing too many goals were basically taken off the board because of the skate in the crease, decided to change the rules and decided to say that if a player had possession of the puck while his skate was in the crease, then he can score. off of a rebound. Of course, they didn't give the memo to the other team. So basically, they were right with the ruling, but they didn't tell anybody else. This was actually the second longest Stanley Cup Finals game in history, going to triple overtime and being done at the 14:51 mark. It's 22 seconds short of the record, which is Game 1 of the 1990 Stanley Cup Finals, which I did a video on the Klima in 1990. And this was the first time in 5 years that the Stanley Cup Finals didn't end in a sweep. So that was amazing and all that. We got a 6-game series. This was Dallas. This has been the Stars' only Stanley Cup win. They would go back to the Stanley Cup in 2000 and 2020, but lose. Buffalo has not been to the finals since. And they're only their second Stanley Cup Finals appearance after a loss in 75 to the Flyers. It was a weird one. All that. Sabre fans were not too pleased with the in the crease modification. And I agree. So anyway, Dallas brought players, and some players got to be part of the Stanley Cup and all that. Mike Modano, the Stars legendary player who came over from the North Stars when Minnesota moved to Dallas. Brian Skrudland was on that team. Wow. Derek Plant was on that team. The funny thing is he started the season with Buffalo, and then he got traded to Dallas. It was just like, that was pathetic on Buffalo's part. Derek Plant, of course, scoring that Game 7 goal in 97 against the Senators. Guy Carbonneau got a ring for the 1919. Jun19, John Sim, Blake Sloan, not household names. Mike Keane, Dave Reed, Jamie Langenbrunner, Pat Verbeek, the little ball of hate. Brad Hall, of course. Gary Levinen, Grant Marshall, who would score a famous triple overtime goal for the Devils years later. Benoit Hogue, Tony Herkach, Darian Hatcher, Craig Ludwig, Daryl Sador, Brent Severin. Dallas decided to ask the NHL to include Severin's name on the cup because, he spent an entire year with Dallas. Richard Mavachek, Sergei Zubov, and Sean Chambers. I can't remember. Who else was a North Star? Ludwig was a North Star. Darian Hatcher was a North Star. Mavachek. Chambers was a North Star, I think. Yeah, but anyway, goalies were Ed Belfour and Roman Turek, a young Roman Turek. All that. Yeah. Modano and Sean Chambers were the only players on the roster remaining for the 91 North Stars team that went to the final. Chambers left the Stars in 91 to join other teams, but he rejoined the Stars franchise in 97. Yeah. So, anyway. It was amazing, all that. This was the last season Fox would be doing NHL hockey in general, as ABC got the NHL contract in the United States and would be the broadcaster of NHL hockey till 2006 when NBC took over. And NBC is currently the number one team. But then their contract's now negotiated. It's now going to be TNT/ESPN. Gonna be weird. But anyway, I think ABC will be back broadcasting some hockey games because they're arm of ESPN. So good job. I feel bad for you, Buffalo. You did get screwed. But you know what? The NHL screwed you on the memo. One simple memo could have saved everything. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do